Hi everyone. Hey, my name's John. I'm the Holy Father's son. And you know, God made me real happy this morning the way that He put this to me. And you know, I've been telling everybody, I either love you or I hate you. Okay? I either love you or I fucking hate you. Well, guess what God told me? He says, John, I'll just put it to you really simple. You love me so much and you hate them so fucking much. You love me, John, so much and you hate them so much. And that's why you're getting the effect that you are on the earth. And Eve is with Satan in hell. And what happened here in Camas did happen. And God's going to make everybody eat a shit sandwich learning in the learning process, you know. And, you know, like I talked to two other people this morning, and I gave away one of my coffee cups here to a gentleman that pulled right up here, and he's parked down here. Nice guy, he works really hard. He opened up and started talking to me this morning. I told him the situation. I told him the legal situation on what was going on in his life and stuff like that. And he said, I wondered if there was laws about this and what's going on. And I said, well, there sure is. And I said, this here company, when they hired you, they knew what they were hiring when they hired you. And I said, and now they've worked you to death, and they're only giving him 10-minute breaks instead of what everybody else is getting. He's got a bunch of Hawaiians working there with pot being smoked all over, and he's pointed it out. They're getting longer breaks. They're out there smoking pot, and they're in here running this shit goddamn higher than fuck. And I said, well, if OSHA finds out about this, there's going to be a goddamn problem. And he says, and all these here people, they're fucking, you're supposed to be on, I go on break, you're supposed to run my press, and after I go out, it takes me a minute to go out to my van, it takes me a minute to walk back. He says, I'm there for 8 minutes. He says, and I'm back. I says, I'm not stoned on the premises. He says, you know, I run this equipment, I goddamn tell you, it's not safe, you know, like that. And he says that, you know, and it just goes on. Well, he has back problems. He's missed some work because of back problems. He doesn't want to do a copay. He doesn't want to rock the boat. He don't want to lose his job. He's almost in fear of it too. Well, I told him, I said, well, they knew what they were hiring when they hired you, when they took a job application from you. And my attorney would look right at you and say, well, you knew what you were getting into when you got into bed with this person to begin with, now didn't you? And it doesn't matter whether he has pre-existing injuries, you've accepted him for what it was worth. And by the way, if you notice the way that I'm saying things, maybe some things would resonate to you. If you love God, God would love you, just like that. If you don't love God and God's not the first thing in your life, God's not going to love you. He's going to look on you with great disappointment. There's always room to improve because of the fact that, you know, like he told Cain, if you do what's right, it's acceptable. You know, the professor here now, he's over here parked right behind my vehicle, and he does he teaches at a church on Sundays. He's a Sunday teacher, you know, and he's down here, and I talk with him, and I'm telling him this whole theory, you know, and also this whole theory, what happened here, and you know how God makes me happy by the communications and stuff that we have, and how he does it. And he started talking to me. Well, I talked to him for a while. I told him what happened in Seattle, meeting the Seattle officer that walked towards me like this. Hey, she was reasonable. You know, I told him the story, and he's going to look it up on the internet because he knows who I am. He's seen my videos before, but he probably didn't see the latest updates. And, you know, me and him talked, and I told him about, you know, you love God, God loves you. Heck, I love you. I've never had one problem with these here people that put God forward first because it's just the right thing to do instead of the wrong thing to do, you know? And then you're outnumbered by a bunch of fucking lunatics that don't put the Holy Father first in their life through the name of Yahshua, his son, because you can only get to the Father through the Son, like that. Hey, I'm Adam in the flesh. Even Satan's in hell. I have the luxury of telling the truth, and at least I'll convey the truth to you. If you put the Holy Father number one in your life, and your life fucking straightens out, you're going to be happier than fuck. You know, and by the way, all these people that are around you who's acting up, they pecker up when you come around because they don't know how to deal with somebody that God loves. Because God doesn't love these people. They're panhandlers. They didn't even trust themselves to go get a goddamn job, to work by the sweat of their brow. You know, first thing you got to do is just clean yourself up, go to work, get your step in the door, and go to work with your friends and stuff, and you'll have fellowship there too. I mean, there's just nothing wrong with working by the sweat of your brow. And God tells me hard work brings great wisdom. You know, and by the way, women, you're on the left-hand side, and men, you're on the right-hand side. And when I was up there at the Marriott, they have the men's on the right-hand side, and the women's on the left-hand side. You know, you go around some of these businesses that's high-end, they goddamn know the difference between fucking right and wrong. And you're not gonna fuck with a rich person's fucking money, because they come in that building, they want fucking best fucking everything. And that's why they have the fucking best luxuries. I went to the Marriott and pulled up and had, you know, valet parking allow me to go in the Marriott and take a pee. By the way that I said it to the guys, and when I came out, I thanked them so much. I told them, you are all blessed. Yahshua is the name of the Lord. I told them I was D.B. Cooper's son. I told them my dad was the Zodiac Killer, and this is biblical. Those men were so fucking happy that I was there. I didn't have no problem at all, and I said, you know, they were so happy, and I greeted people when they came and stuff, and they goddamn know how I am. The professor here, he goes, what have you done to your head, John? And I said, what did I do to my head? I took off my hat. And I said, I took off my old hat. Right there, you see? I said, I always have my old hat on so you don't see my bald head. I know I'm ugly, I'm an egghead, you know? And he says, John, he says, you're handsome. And I said, well, oh, you just want something from me. I see how you're getting me now. And anyway, he's got a chest cold and stuff going on. I said, now I want to hear you talk, tell you, you know, what's going on, you know, in your life. He says, well, I got a thing going on in my chest, and I haven't been feeling good, and I don't know if I'm going towards the light or not. And I said, well, I want you to go down and get some of that Tropicana orange juice that has pulp in it, because some Pope's better than all Pope. You know, I said, like the Catholic Church and the Pope and stuff. And he just starts smiling. And I go, who are they really praying to in the Catholic Church? Is it even Satan? I said, because who's the God of the world? Satan is. He ripped it off from Adam, and I'm right here. Satan and Eve's in hell now, and he goddamn knows it, and you should too. By the way, don't believe me, I don't care. I wouldn't twist your arm to do a fucking thing. But if God loves you, I love you, and the earth loves you. You get that? You do what's right and it will be accepted, and that's the goddamn essence of the whole thing. God loves me so much, and you never gave me a reason to love you, he says. And you never gave me a reason to love you. And I have the relationship with the Holy Father that you wish you could have. And I said to this guy over there, and I said, look, Professor, I said, here, you love the Holy Father, and I love you no matter what. Do you understand that, everyone? Hey, I'll talk to you later. This is Stevie Nicks, and she's a great woman. And by the way, she's a fucking witch. And Ozzy's in the top layer of hell because he pleases me, and everybody's going to hell, just like I told Pat Urian yesterday. But You're on the fucking top layer where you're going to get the best of everything. You might even get service like you're at the fucking Marriott for all I know. Because the people on the top layer of hell don't fucking bitch, moan, and complain about nothing. And those people that are down there, they're just fucking watching, because if I eat good, they do better. And if you eat good, they'll do better. You'll feel better, you'll think right, you'll be getting on the right track and have a wonderful fucking life, no matter how long or how short it is. And really, it's all predestined. You could say that, well, it's predestined, every move in your life. Well, guess what? This was a predestined moment, and I'm right here before your very eyes. And there's a very nice woman. She's got her dog, and she's walking, and it's nice. It's nice to see nice people. And highway run through the sun. My wife, Karina, used to sing this song. Used to listen to this song. I mean, it's Journey. And anyway, you know, I don't want your heart to ache. I want your heart to feel great. Hey, and you have a wonderful day. Talk to you later. Bye. Hey, I gave away a coffee cup this morning, Jerry. All right. Just think you're famous now, brother.